Hi, Chris Reid, Realtor here in Pensacola. It is a brisk January day, 38 degrees, which is really unseasonably cold. And I had to get out of the house, so I figured I'd come down to downtown and walk Palafox and see what's going on down here. The street is kind of getting all torn up with construction. They're doing a beautification project, and a lot of people might not know what the street looks like. I haven't been down since the streets have all been barricaded and pedestrian walkways only. So let's go take a look, see what we find. Let's go see what it looks like. Let's not get hit by a car as I'm pulling out. Okay, let's go. What a lot of people don't know about the city of Pensacola is that we've got a 467-year history. On our downtown, we've got the prettiest little downtown you've ever seen anywhere. It really was thriving back in the turn of the 20th century is when a lot of it got built. And I'll show you some of the lovely architecture we have down here on our walk. So we are known as, this is our new logo, check it out, where Pensacola begins. Pensacola, City of Pensacola, where Florida begins. And our new logo. And we've got our new Palafox. That's what we're bragging on here. Anyway, let's go take a walk, see what we see. I don't think any of the construction crews are going to be out today, so we won't have all that extra noise. So yes, Pensacola is known as the City of Five Flags. It was owned by the flag flew under 5 different entities. So it started off, this area was discovered by De Luna, so Spanish explorer. So the City of Pensacola was first owned by the Spaniards. Then it changed over to the French, then to the British, then to the Confederate, before becoming owned by America. So City of Five Flags. I'm standing right here in front of Jackson's, and behind me is Ferdinand Plaza. So this is where King Ferdinand gave the flag to Andrew Jackson. Pretty cool. Anyway, there's a little glimpse behind me of all the construction going on. It is torn up. So a few years ago, they ended up running some new gas lines down the street. And then the street was really pretty much a bad patchwork quilt of tar patches. It was kind of ugly. Not kind of, it was ugly. So I think this is going to be a really nice improvement. And they're really making great effort to be pedestrian friendly. And this is our Palafox Street is our main street. Okay, so when I'm saying Palafox, really it's our main street in downtown Pensacola. So you can see beautiful live oak trees, great parks, and I'll give you a glimpse of some architecture across the street when I have a view without the chain link. It's really pretty around Christmas time. So the city of Pensacola had spent, I want to say, $250,000 about 5 years ago to be the center of Christmas in the South, the place to go. And around the holidays, it's lit up like, oh, it's just gorgeous. Woo! And the wind is ripping. I might have bit off a little more than I could chew today. Woo! Good thing I'm moving.
Hey, man, have you got one of these?
Oh, no, I'm okay. Thank you. Palafox, we usually have a lot of parades, and we've got our Mardi Gras parade coming up. So people aren't too happy about this being torn up during Mardi Gras. They do have another parade route planned, and it's longer. So there are some people that are happy about it being a longer route. I'm going to step out of the wind here for a second, catch my breath. So you can see behind me here is Artel Gallery. Wonderful community artist group with a nice museum on the first floor there. And our city building over there on the corner. This kind of architecture may not be what people always think of when they think of Florida. It's a little different out here on the Panhandle, a little more historic. All right, I'm gonna venture out again. Oh my gosh, I wasn't kidding. It's a bit of an adventure today. Well, it's good to see who's out, if anybody's out. And there's people walking around. I hear music going on. So back in early 20th century, Pensacola was really a thriving community because of the lumber industry. So we are known here in the Panhandle for having longleaf pines that are harvested, and the lumber barons invested a lot of money in our downtown, and then they built big old Victorian homes in our historic neighborhood of North Hill, which is just up the road from me here. So right from downtown is really the first neighborhood outside of downtown, North Hill. Homes that were built of the Victorian era, there's Tudor style, all kinds of things to be seen there. And gorgeous, gorgeous landscape. There's always something downtown. Check out the flags. Pretty cool. They've had the colorful rainbow umbrellas here before too. It's pretty neat. Anyway, you might be able to hear in the background all kinds of different music playing. Restaurants, shops, chocolatiers, street performers. Coming up on the Sanger Theater. This Sanger Theater in Pensacola is one of four, I think it's four Sangers. There's one in New Orleans, one in Biloxi, Mobile, and in here in Pensacola. Pretty awesome acoustics. It's great to see some people out today with the cold. Although I will say it's normally quite a bit busier. So about 19 years ago, when my husband and I moved to Pensacola, we had plans to open a shop here on Palafox. We were actually going to open up a Pensacola's first real coffee shop and coffee roaster. I've been roasting coffee for, gosh, 25 years. Anyway, came down, cashed out everything up in northern New England, and came down here to start a new business. And in 2007, we had our business plan. You couldn't, they couldn't find people to rent down here. I mean, the shop owners or the property owners, commercial property owners, were looking for renters, dying for us to open our shop. Very friendly business climate. People were super welcoming, really helped us out about networking. And gosh, it was just such a pleasant place to try to start a business. But through the process, we were counting heads, watching traffic, people count on Palafox, and the numbers were not here. And it was really upsetting for us because we had put our heart and soul into this business plan. We had all these hopes and dreams of starting this business and working together, and the numbers just, the head count told the story. Well, we were too early. And now Pensacola is thriving, has more than one coffee shop, jewelry stores, all kinds of restaurants, wine shops, so many breweries. It used to be back in the day, if you wanted to get a dark beer in Pensacola, if you asked for a dark beer, you'd get a Michelob. So it's very telling. Now we've got all these microbreweries here, which is just fantastic. And good coffee. We were going to open a coffee shop because there wasn't any good coffee. The only place you could get a coffee was at the gas station, and you get powder creamer. That wasn't going to fly. Anyway, you could see above me all of the wrought iron balconies, and very much of a New Orleans kind of feel with balconies, and you actually see some occasional beads hung over the railings from last year. So they kept the brick sidewalks, and definitely wide enough for people to walk without a problem. So one of the reasons why Palafox wasn't very busy in 2007 is because there was a sewage treatment plant just a few blocks west of where I'm standing. It's right along the bay. And I'm sure when the city planners put all that in, I think it was back in the 40s, they just didn't have a lot of thought as to what was going to happen here. Just not very good planning or vision, I think, for Pensacola. Anyway, anytime you'd be downtown, I remember going to a boat show once, I'll never forget it. Going to a boat show down on the other end of Palafox, and the wind blew the wrong way from the west, and you couldn't even be outside. So we did not have like cafe tables, people eating outside. We didn't have any of that. You couldn't be outside down here. It just smelled too badly. It was horrible. Anyway, the plant did get damaged during Hurricane Ivan, which was back in 2004, and they made great effort in relocating it well north of town and getting all of that stinky stuff out of here. So now, since that happened, ever since that happened, our downtown has really thrived. And one of the neat things too is when we had the downturn of the housing market in 2000, well, we moved here in 2007, the market was on its way down, really bottomed out, really hit hard in 08, 09, 2010. During that time, while real estate prices were dropping everywhere throughout the nation, our downtown was starting to get developed, and it has continued to develop ever since. This is Global Grill here. It's a great place for some tapas. They've been around forever, well before I ever got here. Anyway, I'm happy to see the shops are, open. The music is playing. People are walking even in this cold. And there's something going on down here. That's really good to see. So what they're planning on with the construction is to make it, more pedestrian friendly. To I don't know if you can see this old picture of what downtown looked like back in the day. see this behind me? So cool. You see the architecture behind me too? The railings. It's pretty neat. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna just be, they're keeping the trees, keeping the brick sidewalks. Aesthetically, it's just gonna be so much more pleasing. I'm sure they're gonna, you know, design it in such a way where it takes all of our parade routes and safety and all that kind of stuff, barricades and all that, into consideration. Got nice little gardens around the trees. But, you know, with time comes change, and I think this will be a good change for our progress. New stormwater system, ADA accessible tree canopy enhancement, and free parking spaces. Well, sounds pretty good. So if you're out and about and you're looking for something to do, don't hesitate to come downtown. Everything is still very much up and running. Support the local shops, the local community. Don't let the construction and the all inhibit you from coming. It is very much open for business. There's the Sanger Theater at the top with the facade up top. I was mentioning it to you before. I think I'm on the sheltered side of the street now. The wind isn't anywhere near as bad. I'll definitely do another walk when it's done, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Shouldn't take too long. I think they're planning on it only taking a couple months. Have these really cool pelicans in place. Some cities have, like I think what Austin has a longhorn, but we have all these pelicans that are painted a certain way. You can spot them all over downtown. Art changes every 6 weeks. Much further, and I'll be back to where I started. Check out the Mardi Gras decor. We have the largest Mardi Gras parade in Florida. Most people don't know that Mardi Gras actually started in Mobile. Kind of our sister city in a way. It's only 50 miles away. All right. You guys know Bubba, the golfer. He's from our area here. Actually grew up in, I think, Baghdad, Milton, which is just a bedroom community of Pensacola. And this is his shop, Bubba's Sweet Spot. Ice cream, candy, all kinds of good stuff. So this is technically our main street that I'm crossing now. Main Street in Palafox. This goes west down to Joe Patty's, and it goes west to our Joe Patty's Seafood. It's been around for a long time. We have our ball team, the Blue Wahoos. The second, what do they call it? Double A ball team. We've been rated as having the best minor league ball stadium in the country. That was just built a few years ago. Actually, longer than that now. Alright, back to where I started. We have a nice loop around downtown. This is our little food truck court here. I got a ruby slipper. I think there's one of those in New Orleans too. Anyway, thank you so very much for taking the time to go on a nice cold walk with me this afternoon. So appreciate your spending time with me. Feel free to keep up with me at Chris Reid Realtor for all of your real estate needs. Always happy to assist and answer any real estate questions you may have. Feel free to give me a jingle anytime. See you soon.